Evolution. When we look around us, we see a variety of organisms. As the environment changes, the organisms also change many a times. These organisms, whether plants or animals, are well adapted to their environment. These organisms have certain salient characteristic features in them which help them to get well acclimatized to their environment. Those organisms which cannot adjust to their surrounding have no right to survive, is the rule of the nature. Earlier in this chapter, we have discussed at length about the mechanism by means of which variations are created. These variations are then passed on from one generation to the next generation. The long-term effects of accumulation of variations make their study very interesting. Do these variations found in species have equal chances of survival in the environment in which they belong to? The answer is no, because depending upon the difference in the nature of variations, different individuals would have different advantages. Theory of evolution of life. According to the above-mentioned theory, a life substance appeared on the earth in sea water. During course of time, this living substance developed into a unicellular form of life. Then some gradual and orderly changes took place in this unicellular form, and it developed into multicellular forms of greater and greater complexity. Then, behavioral patterns also gradually underwent many changes. These changes were very slow and sequential. It took a prolonged period of nearly 300 crores of years. These changes and development of living things took place in all aspects, and that gave way for many different kinds of living things to come into existence. Hence, this process is called the evolution of life on Earth, which is also referred to as organic evolution. Morphological evidence. Organic evolution is thus the progressive development of animals and plants from ancestors of different forms and functions. Evidence for organic evolution. Organic theory of evolutions is the most accepted theory as it answers many questions like how life came into existence, how various forms developed, and how more competent species come into existence. Various types of evidences are also available to support the theory. In spite of many adaptive differences in protoplasm and cells, and the manifestations of life process like growth, reproduction, metabolisms are essentially the same in all organisms. Anatomical evidence. Generally speaking, the human arms, a bull's leg, a bat's wing, and whale's fin have nothing in common. Refer to the figure. They all perform different functions in their respective animals. Since their functions are different, there is a difference in their structures. When we observe the figures minutely, we are able to establish similarities in the bones of these different organs and their joints. This similarity is attributed to having developed from a common ancestor. Students, based on this topic, you can get following question. Anatomical evidence. Generally, paleontological evidence. The process of fossilization takes a very long period of time. In order to study the fossil, the land is excavated. Fossils are collected from different levels of depth. A systematic study of these fossils and its occurrence revealed that the deepest layers were found to have fossils of invertebrates. In layers above them were found prehistoric fish-like animals, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals, respectively in that order. This suggests that perhaps this was the order in which the animals appeared on the earth. Embryological evidence. Embryology deals with the study of development of an organism from an embryo. The comparative study of embryos of different generations of vertebrates exhibits certain interesting facts. The embryos in their early stages of development show a great deal of similarities but differ in the latter stages of development. This suggests common ancestry for these animals. Students, based on this topic, you can get following question.